Good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon.
Today is our sixth group discussion. In this discussion, we have picked already a movie from list B, and that movie is movie number 4, Behold the News. Hope you guys find it after watching the movie.
It's quite frightening, very boring. Very boring. Depressing.
What about you? Thrilling. I am like more to the neutral side. Okay. Would anyone like to begin with the synopsis? Saida?
Okay, I will briefing for the movie. It's about Texas. I think it's Texas, is it? The Deputy Harris. Almost dawn. I think so. It's about 7, right?
7 something.
7 something. And he goes into there, but he was interrupted. He was scared by a flock of crows out from a barn that he just entered.
In the shed. Yeah.
But he didn't realize there was a body hanging in the shed. A dead body. And then he entered the house. Is it?
Yeah, a house.
Like a cottage or something. He entered that and he discovered another very weird things like the altar with the skull in it.
I think devil worshipping ritual stuff.
Probably devil worshipping or other cult rituals.
Yeah.
It was probably, and all other scary stuff. And he goes out and he also found another more than 5 bodies hanging in the tree. So in the end, he was also injured and he got killed by a spear by the serial killer. It turns out to be serial killer, not a ghost like they all talk about.
Yeah.
So that's a synopsis for the story.
Based on what I understand from the story, like what you say, the sheriff is on a mission to look for a missing blonde girl.
Deputy actually.
Yeah, sheriff's deputy.
Sheriff's
Deputy. Okay, when he goes there, he was warned by one of the guys from the radio that he was communicating with that the place is haunted, but he said the big guy will be fine, right?
Yeah. He was skeptical, right?
Yeah. Then when he got there, he was scared by the flock of birds in the shed. Didn't realize the dead body, the body was hanging. Then he keep yelling out, is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there with a shotgun?
To find the missing girl, right?
Yeah.
He thought the missing girl was in the place.
Yes. So when he got into one creepy house with creepy music, did you hear the music? Okay.
Yes, I turned down the volume actually.
Yeah. He found that altar you mentioned, the skull. That part is kind of creepy because it's like a devil worshipping place. When he got out, he saw a couple of dead bodies, like you said, hanging on a tree. Before he could react, there's one guy, man creature guy, stabbed him. I don't know what is that, it's a man. Maybe a beast man or something.
Or he could be probably a man with a mask, right, Nisa? Right? With a mask.
Yeah.
Mask.
With a scary mask.
More like a plastic bag on his face. Okay, after he got stabbed, the man creature thing took the deputy's blood and rubbed against his face, right?
Oh,
then
God, I really didn't notice the part.
Okay, then he hung him upside down, not by his neck, but upside down first. Then he completed the job by stabbing him with the spear again.
Yes.
At the end, the radio guy, which the deputy was communicating earlier, told him that they found the missing girl.
Yes.
And asked the deputy to come back, but he didn't know that, the radio guy didn't know that the deputy was killed.
Yes.
So that is Behold the News. So did you guys enjoy the movie? Honestly?
Actually, not really. I've not really enjoyed the movie. The movie is unclear and it's only about one character, about the only one, the deputy, and actually this short movie is only capture how the deputy in his solo mission in order to find the missing girl, right? But at the end of the story, he got killed, and then the story just end like that, just unclear and so.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't have
So annoying actually, and I just can't stand how is it it could be the just a short movie and then it's so unclear and I can it just based on one character and I just can't relate who is the one the kill the
it's not clear the origin of the killer and stuff.
You don't know the origin, you don't know the story.
Yes. Exactly.
For me, I think there's a part where I think it's not really logic because when the deputy opened the door, there's a flock of bird came out. But then why didn't he realize?
This was about a huge dead body,
right?
Yeah, I agree with Amma. If he could not realize about the crowd, surely he will notice the smell of the crowd, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
There was the something did stench a lot.
Yeah, distant loss.
Doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah, it's just open the door and then just go like that, go away like that.
It's a typical way to prolong a movie.
Yes.
Differently. What about you, Jiha? What do you think about the movie?
I think it's not
Clear.
yeah, it's not clear. So
The storyline. What about storyline?
storyline is kind of boring. So I just watch. Yeah. I don't feel anything watching.
What about you, Farah?
Actually, I feel after watching the movie, I feel sympathy also to the guy because he was killed in his unreachable mission, which is to find a missing girl, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm also curious, who is the killer actually?
So that means you like the movie?
No.
I also not very enjoy about it. I more prefer the long movie than the short movie, and this video is just almost 10 minutes and something like haven't reached the climax, then it ends already.
It end already, right?
Yeah, I did some research, but they said this is one of the best short movies. But I don't really like it. What about you, Liza?
I think
The movie is boring and the storyline is not interesting.
It's flat.
The ending also end up with suspense. So I just watched the movie lah. I didn't get any message from that movie, and I think the deputy should not go alone to that place. He must bring someone with him.
Yeah, that's
A backup.
that's a good message.
This is good.
Okay,
overall, when I watch this movie, I don't feel anything. But then there are parts that scared me, which is when the
Deputy?
deputy opened the door and
Flock of birds.
crows come out from that door, and because that was scared me because the background music is creepy and slow, and suddenly the crows come out. Okay, then the another part is when the killer was at behind of the deputy, and suddenly he or she
I think probably it will be
man, okay, man.
Creature.
Creature, yeah. The creature was stab him, and that was scared me.
Well, I beg to differ. I think it's quite interesting. It's only the concept, and guys, it's a very low budget movie.
I think there's no budget. I think. I read somewhere.
Oh really? I read it's very low budget, and you know, it's actually scary. Maybe in Malaysia you didn't see serial killers everywhere. I think the last thing that shocked us, the killer thingy is Mona Fendi.
Yeah.
That's the last. It was in 90s. and we're probably even less than 5 years old. And in the States, the serial killer and the cult worshipper there are many of them. That's what, but the movie is scary because it's possible. It could happen to you, or your brother, or your sister, or your mother. The concept is actually scares me because there are sick people out there. There are psychos out there.
But Malaysia, we don't have like devil worshippers. More to the shamans, right?
Yes, the shamans.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy too.
I may correct you on that, Jason. It's not yet. It's not. It's just not yet. You don't know. In the future you could probably give birth to a psycho. You don't know that.
No, the way you raise the person depends on how he becomes a psycho.
Yes. It's about the problem.
Childhood.
The childhood.
Okay. Besides the lesson that Pizza mentioned about, you should not go alone. Yeah, you should not act brave also. Yeah.
Should not too brave.
Yeah, you shouldn't pretend to be brave.
But to his defense, I think, because he was in charge and he has to go. His partner is sheriff, I think, asked him to go. So he's like, oh, okay, nothing happened.
But the sheriff warned him that the place is haunted.
He jokes about it.
You could call for backup. Remember when he saw the sheet of blood? He said he sent some message to the radio, right?
Don't you remember the radio was static?
No, before the end. That's the end.
Oh, before the end.
We got something here. You remember he said we got something here. He saw the blood stain on the towel or something.
On the
sheet of towel. Blood stain sheet. Okay. Then what I understand from this movie, if there's good out there, there's surely something evil. They see where like us, like we have like our own religion, we pray. But there are evil people out there. They pray to the devil.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So based on this movie, which movie that we could relate this movie from the 3 previous movie that we watched?
Conjuring.
Especially the hanging part. Yeah.
The hanging part. To me, the ritual part, the altar, it could relate to Bathsheba, and then the hanging part. Maybe he hangs his victims like how Bathsheba hangs her own child, his 1-day-old child, as a sacrifice to the devil.
Oh yes.
The killer
Could be.
Yes, the killer tends to communicate. Yeah, maybe it's a communication.
It's a gift, maybe. It's a gift of sacrifice to the devil.
Yes.
Yes, they tend to believe to the sacrifice.
Exactly.
The offer.
Offering, blood offering.
They
What do you
tend
think,
to
Amma?
believe to the devils and they do not pray to God.
Yeah.
So overall we feel unsatisfied about the movie, about this short movie, and also we did not enjoy this movie because of the unclear story. But we can still relate this movie to the real life, and this short movie actually have its own message, right? But it's just because of the unclear storylines, and we just can't take a lot of things from this short movie, right? It's just about the serial killer, how the deputy end his life being killed by the serial killer, and this short movie we can relate to the Conjuring, right? It's just another horror movie that's the storyline maybe quite same with the Conjuring, the hanging part maybe.
And it was inspired by The Walking Dead. I read.
And Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes. No wonder the face. The serial face.
But then Texas Chainsaw Massacre is way scarier than this. It's more gore. Okay. I want to ask you. What do you think about the similarities between Conjuring and this movie?
Genre.
The genre, horror movie, thriller movie.
Okay, Amma. What do you think? Which movie is better, Conjuring or?
Definitely Conjuring
Because
from Conjuring we can see the message that they want us to see, that we should for us religion, we should stick to our religion, so that we act as a guideline for us throughout our life. So I think that's the message we see from Conjuring.
What about you, Sim? Which one is better to you?
I think the better one is the Conjuring. But for myself, I like the horror movie.
Both. So technically, you like both.
I like the hero,
Oh,
like the Ant-Man.
Okay. What about you, Jiha? What do you think? Why, since most of them agree that Conjuring is better than this movie, what makes Conjuring better than this movie?
Because yes, it has more scary parts. This one is too short. I really don't enjoy it. So, Conjuring, it makes me really scared.
But we have to give credit. They did a lot within 9 minutes. There's a storyline, even though it's not clear. There's an unexplained parts like the origin of the killer, what is his motive. We just can assume that's what makes us want to watch more. Maybe that's why it is a short movie.
Maybe this short movie just want to tell us how the serial killer is and how we should be more cautious and being careful about how the serial killer is it, right?
Yes, because serial killers are out there.
Yes, it does happen in real life, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And we should be careful and also cautious about this thing.
It's actually based on a true story. And before the start, Rodette is part of the confidential file, right? Remember?
I don't read.
Didn't
Listen.
No, the clip. When you play the clip, the starting part that this movie is based on the confidential file.
Yes. I
We
noticed
don't
about
read.
that.
She saw that.
Oh, okay, so that.
Okay.
Maybe I don't read.
Because you are too excited for the movie.
Yes, I was wondering what, and it was about, because the synopsis also said the eerie part. So I thought, oh, ghost, but well, it's the serial killer. It's scarier than actually people are scarier than ghosts.
Yeah.
People can kill you.
Yeah, people are the real devil out there. Okay, what about you, Pizza and Nisa? Would you add a little bit more?
First of all, this movie, not ghost movie like Conjuring, it is a killer movie. So, for me, Conjuring is much better than this movie.
Okay, just saying like Fiza, I think Conjuring is much better than this short movie because Conjuring have their own message and yeah, of course these short movies have their own message too. But then there are two not having much like Conjuring.
Yeah, because the timeline is
Yes,
different.
the timeline. Then sorry, I didn't clear about this movie about what the movie want.
Yeah, but most short movies tend to have not a clear message.
Yeah.
They convey the message.
Yeah,
Most of them. If you see the list, I watched the first one also. It doesn't have a clear message.
Oh, okay.
The fifth one is too boring,
So,
to be honest.
but fourth one is okay for horror movie. Short.
Horror movie.
And just to be fair, we should not compare the short movie to the long movie
Yes.
because
It's
long
different.
movies,
It's
long
totally
movies have
different,
so
yeah.
much to compare to that.
No, this is how you can relate it, like the horror part.
Yes, the horror part just it's not fair.
Even though it's
for
the
the
murder movie, it's still considered a horror because he worship the devil, so it's like horror. It's like demon inside the killer.
The demon inside the killer.
But then there is a message that this short movie give, which is we have to beware.
Yes,
You should not go alone.
We should not go alone.
You have a partner with you. At least you have backup.
Yeah.
Always be aware. So, would you recommend this to viewers of this movie?
Maybe
Yes, for a short movie, yes, I do recommend.
maybe for a short movie like hers.
Compare the others.
Okay, so you guys would recommend this to viewers today?
I do.
I do, especially
Okay,
those
better than
amateurs
other movies.
who haven't watched horror movies before. This could be a
Or
great
to
start.
be an inspiration to
Watch more horror movies.
yeah, an inspiration to make
Horror
movies.
Yeah.
because it's very low budget.
Okay, since this is our last discussion, I would like to thank you all. I would like to thank Mr. Fuad for being patient with us with our movie clips.
Our videos.
Videos.
A very big thank you for Mr. Fuad.
For tolerate with us.
And I'd like to thank you all because you all always have to come, even though the timing is sometimes sacrifice your time to find the right time, so that all of us could be at the same time. Alright. Anything else you want to add, Amma?
Just to say thank you to all of you and also Mr. Fahad because he also guide us a little bit about how to make video for this to be better.
Okay, thank you guys. That is all. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.